So this will comprise the bridle with a noseband, the lunging cavesson, and the saddle with a surcingle. The surcingle has several loops, so you can attach the side reins at different heights. This particular surcingle doesn't have a lower ring, so I've chosen to put the side rein on the first billet of the saddle, of the girth, supported by the keeper of the saddle pad, so it stays securely in place. Now, when we look at the fitting of the lunging cavesson, several things are important. The actual cavesson part should be fairly narrow, so that it doesn't interfere with the bit below it or with the cheekbone above it. Sometimes cavessons are very wide in this area, and that's unfortunate because it tends to interfere with the bit and also with the cheekbone. So when you buy a lunging cavesson, make sure that you get this version, and you might have to scour the catalogs to find one of those, because predominantly the ones that one finds are the unsuitable ones that are very thick here. So don't go and buy one of those. Now, the other important part in the lunging cavesson is the eye strap. This needs to sit just under the jaw here, so that it secures the cavesson and prevents it from sliding to the eye. Another thing to consider is how to tie up the bridle reins. Now I'll show you, sometimes people make mistakes when they tie up the reins. They put them on the neck like this, and they start twiddling here. And when they do that, very often the reins tend to hang down like this. And that can cause a problem when the horse reaches down very far with his neck, that a horse can get a foot caught here. So the way to do it is to start with the twiddles right here at the buckles of the reins. And when you do this and run the throat latch through it, it brings the reins very close here to the gullet and keeps it securely out of the way. Now, of course, the lunge line must be attached to the center ring of the cavesson, and we recommend that the swivel of the lunge line is secured with a tape. Well, this is just some duct tape going around it to prevent it from swiveling. That gives you, as a lunger, the possibility of keeping the lunge line from twisting like this, and you can always make it straight. And that's how it should be, so you can use it like an extended rein. Now, when you determine the length of the side reins, and these are the ones with donuts, which are recommended in most cases. There are some versions, and you will see in the booklet, when they are suitable for 3-year-olds that are just being started, you can use ones with elastic. But when the horse accepts, and those are these, but when the horse accepts the contact, you no longer should use these, because the horse is often tempted, let me just have them for a moment, to bump against them, and they learn to snap against the bit, and that is to be avoided. So we'll discard these here for the moment. Now, when you attach the side rein to the bit, attach them so in this way, and let's also put the outside one in. This is just to measure, not very accurately, but in a way that keeps the horse's nose line well ahead, and to make sure that the side reins are even, you put your fingers in the bit rings and pull the bit toward you and check out that they are level. Oftentimes, and let's take the side rein off again and put it to the ring here. Oftentimes the lever of side reins stretches differently, and the way that I've just shown is a very certain way to ensure that the side reins have the same length. Depending on the purpose of the lunging, when you're starting your lunging session, it's advisable to have the side reins rather low, like these are attached. Now, if you want to school your horse more when you lunge, you might have to make choices to put the side reins in this ring or possibly even up here. But that's probably rare that you put the side reins up here. So those are all the things to be considered regarding the tack. This is the horse tacked up for lunging as a warm-up prior to riding. As you see, we don't need a surcingle for this, and the horse is only tacked up with its saddle. The stirrups are secured with a stirrup strap on both sides to prevent them from slipping down. The side reins are put through the first billet of the girth and above the keepers of the saddle pad, so that they stay securely in place. When you warm up the horse prior to riding, that could take anything briefly from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. Then you don't need the surcingle. The horse is tacked up. If you have a horse that, in this case, would be one where the lunging cavesson doesn't fit, you don't want to attach the lunge line directly to the bit ring, because that pulls it out the side of the mouth and does not help to preserve the sensitivity in the horse's mouth. You use a connector piece that you put through the bit ring and the noseband, and the noseband prevents it from pulling on the bit ring as such. So you'll have this attachment, and in this way the horse's sensitivity in the mouth is not compromised. Now, when you set up the horse for this work, the side reins should not be put together like this and put on the neck, because if you unclip them, Cindy, go on that side please. If you unclip them, that one could fall down and bump against the horse's leg, and a sensitive horse might flinch. So the way to do it is to clip them onto the D-rings of the saddle. Then you can use and attach the side reins independently without having the horse flinch if the side rein bumps on his leg on the other side.